Welcome to Diamond Niners Weekly for Week 7 of the 2021 season. We are back on the air talking all things Charlotte 49er baseball. As always, this is Nick. Of course, I'm joined by Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
Live from the Haze, Coach Woody.
Everybody.
And back at Central Control, making all of this possible, producer Brad.
Hey.
All right, guys, we got another week of baseball to talk about. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Something new we thought we'd try this week. If you happen to be listening live on YouTube, which we can see you guys every week, chime in on the chat function. There's a chat function there. Tell us who you are and where you're listening from. We know you're there. We just don't know who you are. So producer Brad, be on the lookout for that. So if you want to say hello, do that. We'd love to know who you are out there. And, just say what's up because we appreciate you. All right, guys, how we feeling? How's everybody doing?
All good. Ready for another series.
All right. Kevin, you doing okay?
Doing great. Just like Coach, ready for another series or the 4-game grind.
For the people that listen to this as a podcast and can't see it, Kevin is rocking an exquisite old school Niner ball cap, man. Where'd you get that thing?
Got a long time ago, I guess, back in the mid to late 90s.
Yeah, that's a 90s era ball cap.
This is a B-Rob era Niner baseball cap. So
I would say you might have stolen it off B-Rob, but I know you didn't steal it off Bo-Rob. So, but it's sharp. I like it. I love it. All right, guys, let's just jump right in. Coach Woody, came off last weekend. It's a lot of first last weekend. Your first Conference USA series, your first road Conference USA series, and your first road conference 4-game Conference USA series. So a lot of firsts there. We go 3-1 on the weekend. Just your overall impression. Give us your feedback. Give us your reaction to last weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's Western Kentucky, they've got a really good team, and they're better. I mean, felt like their entire lineup is like 22 and 23-year-olds. Like, it was really veteran lineup, tons of at-bats under their belts. And, to your point, it's tough to win on the road. It's tough to win double headers. It's tough to, all that stuff. And I just, I'm so proud of our guys. Certainly everybody wants to sweep, right? Like, that's, especially when you have an opportunity to, just because it's hard to be in that position. But, man, our guys laid it on the line last weekend. I mean, to, play a pretty complete game and to win a doubleheader, and then to be down 7 runs in the first 2 innings and to put up a 6 spot and a 9 spot there, just showing that resiliency and that toughness. I couldn't be more proud of our club, the way that they handled all the adversity. I mean, we rolled in there Thursday night for practice, and it was lightning and storm, and it's 50-mile-an-hour winds on Sunday, and there's just a lot of different challenges. And I felt like our guys didn't make any excuses. They didn't complain about anything. It was just kind of whatever the challenge was, let's just take it on. And felt like that was as locked arm of a dugout that we've had this season. It just felt like everybody was, not that we weren't before, it just felt like, it was even tighter than it maybe had in previous weeks. And I'm excited about, it being even more so this weekend. I mean, that's what you want to see over the course of the weekend, is the club getting tighter and tighter. And I felt like last weekend, we had that.
8 hours on a bus together helps with that, right?
Yes, definitely. That definitely helps. A lot of time at the hotel between games, and I think Tyler Simmons and Brianna Richards and our managers and everybody, just on all the logistical things that it takes to go on our road trip. Hotel was nice. Buses, we took 2 buses to maximize spacing and avoiding contact tracing and trying to keep people safe. And, just all the meals we had, from barbecue to Olive Garden and everything. I mean, just, logistically, Tyler Simmons on our staff, and Sydney Pike and Paul Ahern Ray and everybody just does so much behind the scenes to make those things. I mean, in my opinion, I think those things translate to wins is when you have, everything firing, when everything's run smoothly logistically, the guys can just focus on playing. And I felt like we had that last weekend.
Coach, something really cool that happened this weekend was Hale Sims versus his brother, David Sims from WKU. Hale already had a pretty good week. He got to start against App State at the Atrium Health Ballpark, pitched 4 good innings there, pitched a little bit in relief earlier in the series, but had a really cool moment on Sunday. We were watching on the WKU feed, and it was pretty cool because the announcer, I guess Hale's mom was sitting right in front of the announcer, and he was kind of getting a play-by-play on what she was doing during the at-bat, and as well as doing a play-by-play of the brothers' battle. Take us through that at-bat. I know it's a special moment for the Sims family and for everyone involved.
Yeah, no, I got a chance before the series to meet Davis, Hale's brother, and it's chip off the old block, I guess you could say. They're pretty similar dudes, I guess, and just great people. There's a long lineage of baseball in the Sims family with their grandfather and relatives, and so it's it's pretty unique. It's pretty unique to have two brothers go up against each other playing in the same conference. That doesn't happen too often, and it was I make a certain amount of notes before each game on my in-game card, and one of my notes for the Sunday game was I actually wrote Hale versus Davis, and I circled it and highlighted it just to make sure that I just thought that if there was a way to create that matchup, let's try and do it. And if the situation presents itself and that's the best thing for our team, let's try to do that. And just because I knew he had family in town, and it's probably depending if we play we play in the conference tournament, that sort of thing. You don't know if that situation's ever going to present itself again. So we want to try to do it. And I hate that the runner ended up advancing, I think, on a ball on a pass ball. But we got the punch out on the elevated heater, and I think there was a little bit of a stare down, kind of maybe a chuckle there. I really enjoyed meeting Davis, and obviously Hale's a great kid, and I think that was a special moment for the Sims family. They're great people.
I was going to say, I think my favorite part of that matchup was the fact that our brother won it.
That's right. No, it was a big pitch. That was a huge pitch. And Davis is one of the best hitters in the conference, and he hurt us earlier in the game. I hate that. After that, I think he took a hit by a pitch off the hand. I think he's okay though. But no, certainly that was a big pitch by Hale, and it's just big time competitor against big time competitor, and our guy won. That was great.
It was great. I think the announcer said that his mom was wearing a WKU sweatshirt, but from the audio, it sounded like her favorite is Hale for sure from the audio.
Oh yeah.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah. Oh, I've been known to have green tinted glasses before, so maybe I heard it one way.
Nah, we're impartial, Kevin. Everybody knows that. So, Coach, we're going to have a chance to talk about some of the other performances as we look through some of the individual performances. But that game Sunday, because I think it's worth a little more time here because it was so dramatic, the swings back and forth. So, just talk a little bit about, take us inside the dugout. Like what's happening with the atmosphere, and you're down 7-0, and then you come and you take the lead, and then it ties. Just walk us through some of those mood swings, if you will, or however you want to describe it.
Well, I think one of the things that we felt on Sunday, we were in the driver's seat. Not that gives us permission to lax off. If anything, that's in the driver's seat. It's time to you go full throttle. And just they had a really good first 2 innings to jump out front with a really good lead. And but the nice thing about when you win the first 3 games is you don't the pressure is really in the other dugout. The pressure's in the other dugout to not get swept at home. And so I feel like our guys really did a great job, and it should be a lesson for us, moving forward, that we just stayed pretty even keel. There wasn't like some huge pep talk speech that that got us the 6 runs in the second or whatever it was. And I think I just made a comment like, hey, let's do something cool here. Like, nobody, why not do something cool here? And Keuchel led off that inning with a double, and you could just kind of feel a little bit of kind of, with every runner of ours that reached base, you could kind of feel like there was no pressure for us to come back. It was just like, let's just see if we can do it. And to our guys' credit, they did. They came all the way back and then some. And yeah, the other part about that is after that, once we, obviously the end result didn't go our way. We knew it was going to be a high scoring game. Like, we knew, you pull in the ballpark and there's, all the flags are blowing straight out 40 to 55 mile an hour gusts constantly. Plus that surface is one of the fastest surfaces in the league. Not making excuses. It's just like, this is just the factors we're playing with. So like, if you think that Sunday game under those circumstances is going to be a 1-0 game, then you're not really paying attention, I guess. We didn't think it would be 17-16, but we thought, we didn't think that the 7-run deficit was unsurmountable. I thought probably the first team to 10 was going to win. And then it turned out to kind of, be a little bit more than that. And, but I coached 3 years in Blacksburg, Virginia at Virginia Tech. And for people who know that part of the country, it's 3,000 feet above sea level. It's 40 to 60 mile an hour winds straight out in thin air. And, I've been in ball games like that, like not frequently, but like pretty frequently. And so, that's just to me, that's why, I said what I said after the game, is I felt like it was my job to figure out a way to win that one, because, I've been in those. I don't think our team had been in that type of a game yet, really. But I've been in those types of games before, and for me, I needed to be able to navigate that one a little bit more, and we weren't able to do it.
It's kind of interesting because from a psychological standpoint, I was going back and forth between Sean and the Western Kentucky team since they were on the video, and their announcer, and I get it, they're trying to fill time and trying to find things to talk about. They were speculating down 7-0. Oh man, these Charlotte guys, they've got an 8-hour bus. I don't know how many times he mentioned 8-hour bus ride. These guys are probably, are they going to pack it in? You got to feel like, they're it's the end of the weekend and they're tired, and maybe they're just going to pack it in. And I'm like, nah, I don't know about that. And then there was a certain point we busted through. Forgive me, it's probably my fault, Coach, but the thought literally crossed my mind. I'm like, are they going to lead this game 7-0 and then get run ruled? Shows what I know. I actually thought that, but that turned out to be. It was a fascinating game. I was tired when it was over. I can only imagine how you guys felt.
Yeah, no, that's an exhausting game, no matter which side you're on. But again, it's also exhausting because our guys and you guys, everybody, friends, family, everyone that's, listening is emotionally and investing, 4.5 hours of their day, to pulling for us and fighting and trying, competing. And, at the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for as a coach. And our guys did that. And, it's a great lesson for us to know that we're never out of a game. We're never out of a game. We're never out of a game. You've heard me say it before, but once we see something, we can't unsee it. So, it's that's definitely going to be a silver lining for us moving forward. Is even though the outcome wasn't what we wanted, there's a lot of positives in that game to take away that will serve us well in future games.
For sure.
Yeah,
Let's take
a lot of positives on the week.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's just get in here because there were some great performances the whole week, and some guys we can take a look at, and that'll kind of let us talk about all four games from the weekend. But maybe start off with some of the starting pitching because Moroza's had another quality start. I mean, he looked really good in his time on the hill this weekend.
Yeah, I know Austin. Every time out, he just looks more and more comfortable. He's got an incredibly flatline pulse, not in a bad way, in a good way. It's just very steady, and when things tend to speed up on some guys, for him, he kind of slows it down and does a really great job of that. He's got such good stuff. Nothing he throws is straight. So, when he's right now, he's pretty much routinely walking no or 0 or 1, maybe 2 guys a start. So teams are, it's kind of like, here it comes. You're gonna have to square it up, and it's 92, 93 to touching 95 with, big time sink and a good change, a good slider. So, he's been really, really good for us, in that second game so far, and he'll go in that same role here again this weekend for us.
And we got another good start from Bryce Mcgowan to lead off the series as well. I think he had a career high 10 Ks for that Friday game. Very consistent. I know he gave a few runs, but pulled us through for the victory on that one.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Bryce, I thought that was about as good as stuff, start to finish, that he's had. I think he gave up, he gave up 3 runs, but I think one was a balk, which.
Right.
Yeah.
If Bryce McGowan's trying to gain an advantage by not coming set with a runner on the second and third, then, I'd like to know why. Thought that was a questionable call, but
he's got all the advantage he needs.
Yeah, and then I think there was like a CNI ground ball down the first base side that was Gino laid out for, that almost made the play. So I thought Bryce was 1 pitch away from 10 punches and one earned run. Gave up 3, but thought he was as good. I mean, their guy was really good. Cates' numbers were off the charts, and I after the first inning it was 1, 2, 3 for both of them, and where I think Bryce gave up a hit the first inning, but then that was it. And then, I just thought it was going to be this pitcher's duel. And I thought Bryce, I thought, it was our number 1 versus theirs. And Bryce, got the job done and did what he's been doing for us each and every week so far this spring. And it's just been tremendous. He's fun to watch. I mean, feels like every time he starts, it's like the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th, and the other team hasn't gotten a hit yet. He's just kind of not jinxing him or anything, but he's just kind of like, he's got that ability. It's like you're going to see something. You don't know what you're going to see that day. You don't know if you're going to see just a bunch of punch outs or some really great pitches, or him stepping up when he needs to make big pitches in high traffic situations. I mean, he's kind of done it all for us.
Yeah, again, not to jinx him, but I mean, it has that feel to it. We've seen guys go and have performances like this before, but their names were like Mills and Smith, Barnett. We've seen guys turn in those kind of performances, and that's kind of the level he's operating on right now. So it's fun to watch. Yep. We're also starting to get a little feel for how you're looking to handle your bullpen, who you're going to in what situations. And a couple of young guys have really stepped forward. Talk a little bit about Spencer Geesting with the performance he had. I mean, he went 4.2 innings, giving up 4 2/3, giving up 1 run, 4 Ks. Big spot for a freshman.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think opponents were hitting 133 against him on the week too. So he's not, he's just got such good stuff. He's got the ability to just swing and misses, weak contact. He might be one of our best, if not our best athlete on the pitching staff. And, he's a true freshman. So like every time he goes out, it's just like, he's learning and getting more comfortable and learning, and you can just see it. So, I think he's certainly capable of eventually at some point this year, or certainly in the future being in our rotation. But right now, this just his left-handedness and his stuff and his makeup and how hard he works and how much he takes care of himself to recover like he does. He's providing a ton of value in our bullpen because he can get lefties and righties out. He's not a lefty that just can get lefties. He's got that slider that he can back foot and backdoor, and he can elevate that heater to get righties, swing and miss. And the changeup's getting better too. He's working really hard on that. So, really, really bright future for Spence. He's a great pitcher.
Yeah.
Switching over to the offensive side of the ball here. I think if my math's correct, I think if you include the Atrium Health Ballpark game, I think we scored 49 runs last past week. So
a good
seems like we're running on all. Check my math. I could be wrong, but that is a good number. Had a lot of great offensive performances this week. Start out with Austin Knight. He batted 526 on the week, 5 doubles. Currently leading the country in doubles with 15. He leads Conference USA in average hits, doubles, and total bases. So, another great week for Austin Knight. He's having a great season so far. Can you talk a little bit about his performance this week?
Yeah, no, I mean, he does it wherever part of the lineup he's in. He's been in the 8-hole, he's been in the 6-hole, he's been in the 4-hole, he's been leadoff, he's been 2-hole. He pretty much, Austin does what Austin does no matter where he is for us in the order, and certainly fun to watch. I mean, yeah, like you said, he hit 526. He was on base 591 for the week. I mean, that's pretty crazy. But then you look over and he's got 1,000 fielding percentage too. Hasn't made any errors, third base. So just a complete player, really complete player. He's a heads up player. He's always, he sees the little things in the game and you hear him in the dugout, kind of saying things to other guys. That just spreads, to the team. And, Austin, he's just a special player, special person, and really thankful he's here with us this year. He's helping us a lot.
Is it, I think you said this, correct me if I'm wrong, but is it true that he told Bo he was coming after his doubles record?
I'm sure. No, that wouldn't surprise me one bit. Yeah.
What's the stat on that, Kevin?
Bo's doubles record is 32. He broke his own record of 29. He had 29 in 1997, 32 in 1998, and that's the record. So Austin Knight's almost halfway there with a bunch of games left. He's rolling at a good pace right now, so hopefully he can continue that.
Something tells me Bo won't mind.
Nah, I think B-Rob.
All right. Well, looking at obviously a great week for Austin. Now, I'm going to put it to you this way, Coach. The next guy I want to talk about here. We've had some. We talked a little bit about this, and we'll mention again. We've had some knocks and some injuries. Some guys working through some things. We knew, like the Tennessee game, Gino had to come in, and he responded, and then he stayed in the lineup and he produced. That wasn't really. I mean, it's fantastic. There was a lot of press clippings around Gino. Gino was kind of on everybody's radar. Okay. But now if you told me that we were going to go on the road for Conference USA, our first road Conference USA series, and you said, guys, we're going to start Nate Furman all weekend, I would have said, well, I like Nate because we liked him this summer. We liked his grittiness when we saw him play in Summer League. But honestly, in all honesty, I probably would have said to you, you're kind of asking a lot of the freshman, aren't you? Start him all weekend. His first time in the lineup, really, and you're going to start him all weekend in the league on the road. And all the guy does is come in and play defense and rake. I mean, that's it.
Yeah. I'll just say we've seen Firm since he showed up on campus. He is even when he was coming to camp here. I mean, just the makeup is off the charts. I mean, he's an unbelievable worker, teammate. To be a true freshman and have the leadership qualities that he has. On top of the skill sets that he has, he's a good player. I mean, he has probably the best plate discipline of any hitter. If you really lock in on the pitches that he swings at, very rarely do you see him swinging a pitch that's not a strike or out of the zone. If he does, it's usually because he's protecting with 2 strikes, and he's intentionally fouling off a ball. But man, I mean, he is a gamer. He's a winner, and we talk about making the most of opportunities here all the time, whether it's practice or games or the weight room or whatever it may be. And you never know when those times are going to come. And for Nate, it was really from a starting standpoint, it was this past weekend, but this past week. But he's shown it. I mean, he showed it in our Fall World Series. He played at another level. He showed it in the preseason, and I mean, heck, I think his first college hit was not a base clearing double, like off the wall. So he's just a gamer, and he has worked and grinded his way into being in the position he's in, and he's helping us a ton. So he tweaked that hamstring there. That's why he had to come out, but he'll be fine. He's getting that thing back each and every day. Brianna Richards, our trainer, she's awesome. She does tremendous work with our guys, and I'm optimistic that we'll see Nate back in there. If not this weekend, for sure next weekend.
Woody, I'm almost at the point where I'm ready to feel sorry for you, because as all these guys start to get healthy, filling out that lineup card is going to be it's going to be a little difficult.
You're never going to hear me complain about that.
Nor should you, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we love our team. We love our team. We love, offensively, defensively, on the mound. I mean, it's a great group. They've all worked extremely hard, and again, to your point, there's only so many spots, I guess, in the starting lineup, but we talk about it all the time. I mean, for us, it's really not. The starting lineup's great, but I think if you probably look at our stat sheet compared to most other teams, we probably have we've got more pitchers getting in there, we've got more hitters getting in there than probably most teams, and that's by design. Is that because we really have a lot of confidence in a large number of guys on our roster, and we want to make sure that we get them in there and get them experience and keep them sharp and put them in there in the positions where we feel like they give us the best opportunity to win and match up.
Coach, kind of along those same lines, can you tell us what you can about with an injury update for the weekend? Just give us a little bit, whatever you can.
Yeah, no, I mean, everybody is trending up, I guess is a good way to say it. It's part of the nature of the season. It's a 56 game regular season. Never seen or heard of a team that hasn't, it's gone wire to wire without, losing some guys in some shape or form. But I mean, I already mentioned Nate. Firm's closer now than when he was on Sunday. To being back, and McCabe, he's getting closer and closer to getting back into the mix, and Dominic Plawley's getting closer and closer to getting back into the mix. We got Todd Elwood back, this week as well, which is great. So yeah, the needle's all moving closer to full strength. It's certainly not there yet, but it's going the right direction.
Maybe we're getting all of our knocks and dings out here. Just go ahead and get them out of the way for the rest of the season. That'd be all right, wouldn't it? Yep. And other guys are stepping up and doing a great job, and that experience is only going to help as we move forward. So yeah, it's part of it. Yeah. And there's some other attaboys, nobody we want to overlook here, but Gino had 9 hits on the week, and then Jack Dragum and Jake Cunningham both had 7 RBIs this week. I mean, those guys are really starting to get it going.
They're both heating up. It was Jake Cunningham right there. I think we were down. We were down 16-15. I think it was, and he led off the 9th and got the single, and then got over to second and scored the tying run. He's just really B-Rob and Toby are working with him day in and day out, and he's putting the work in himself. the talent is through the roof, and it's only a matter of time before it, really takes off. But he's, Jake Cunningham is really starting to put it together. And gosh, he had a ball out, at Western Kentucky, I want to say on Friday or Saturday, that was like probably 105 exit velo, 12 feet off the ground. It looked like the third baseman could almost jump up and catch it, and it went out. It was crazy.
Wow.
But he's special talent, and those guys are heating up.
Felt like he kind of broke out at Kannapolis was where Jake kind of got it going. It's almost sort of the psychology of it, just seeing a ball find grass, and then
yeah, no, and again, like I said, he works extremely hard, and like a lot of our guys do, and whether it's baseball or any profession, hard work tends to pay off. So he's getting, he's starting to get paid off for all the hard work he's putting in.
Okay. Well, Coach, I have a feeling we've already touched on a lot of these, but let's work our way through the list here. We always do the coaching staff set of weekly awards. Kevin, you wanna walk us through that? We've probably touched a lot of them, but let's go ahead and work our way through that.
Yeah, I'm sure we've touched on a lot of these. Let's go ahead and start with the Leadership Effort Attitude Award. Coach, who took that for you guys this week?
It had to be Firm. That had to be Firm. It was. I wish, honestly, he'd be a good one to mic up. It's a little Philly at times, if you know what I'm talking about, but it's it is. It's all gas and no brakes. It's full throttle with Firm when it comes to winning and competing. And I just thought he made the most of the opportunities and showed other guys like, hey, this is how it's done. This is what we're going to do. And I don't think we win that series without the effort that he put in at all. So, yeah.
I think didn't we see in the fall, didn't they have the Firm cam on his helmet during the Fall World Series? I think I remember seeing that.
We had Sidney Pike. We put the GoPro Firm cam on. Yeah, we might need to bring that one back.
That was definitely inside the action. That was good. We'll move on to Defensive Player of the Week. Who'd you guys pencil in for that?
Austin Knight. Austin Knight just made a ton of really good plays. A couple really awesome 6-hole plays to his left, spinning and throwing, and he's just playing a really good, really great third base for us.
Yeah, along the same line, I did notice. I think that the Niners were 5th in the country when fielding percentage. I think someone tweeted that out, but that says a lot. You mentioned you want to pitch and play defense. We're definitely doing that, and we're winning a lot of ball games. So defense is a big part of that. So good to see. Like I said, we had 49 runs this week, so there was a lot of quality at-bats out there. I'm sure you had a tough one to choose from on that one. Who got your quality at-bat of the week?
Yeah, that was Austin Knight was 10 for 19 with a 591 on base, and Nate Furman was 8 for 17 with a 526 on base percentage, which is what we really preach a lot is getting on base. So those two guys were our quad leaders for the week, which it was tough to choose from. There was a lot of guys putting up some big numbers on the quad chart. So it's always good for you to see, good for us to see.
All right, position player of the week.
Yeah, same guys we've been mentioning, Knight and Furman. They're just
there's a theme.
Yep. They kind of did it all for us last week.
Well, I know Knight and Furman can't win these two awards. You got the whip leader and starting pitcher of the week and reliever of the week.
Yeah, so our starting, we had co-starters of the week with Hale Sims throwing 4 shutout and Austin Roses throwing 5 shutout. We had co-relievers of the week with Casey Bargo making 3 really big appearances for us, one of which was first and second, nobody out, and throwing 3 pitches to get out of that jam. He really put a stop on that game on Tuesday night as well. So, and then Christian Loth is coming in and saving the game. Game 1, I thought he was electric. I thought he was, 93, 95, and just really slammed the door there for game 1. So those two guys were our relievers. And then our whip leader was Austin Roses with 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk with a 1-0 whip. So those are on the mound. Those are the guys Bryce, he wins awards all the time. So we're going to give it to some other guys.
Fair enough. Spread the wealth around, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's transition over to this week's Ask Coach Woody segment. Kevin, you want to bring us our Ask Coach Woody question for this week?
All right. This week's question, with MLB opening day today, a lot of MLB feel to it. John wants to know how much MLB baseball you're able to watch during the season, and when you do get to watch, what are you looking for in a matchup?
Great question. I wish I could. I haven't watched a single inning today, which I hate. I did see the highlight of Daniel Bard, closing out the game against the Dodgers. But truthfully, I pretty much, whenever I get home from the stadium, like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I'll flip on MLB Network. Usually the Dodgers are playing because they're West Coast, so I watch a lot of Dodgers games. And it's great too because they're at the forefront of like everything that's going on in baseball and the player development and like, analytics or whatever you may call it in terms of like matchups and stuff like that. So I watch a lot of the Dodgers just because that's usually what I flip on at 10 o'clock at night when I kind of wind down. And I'm just kind of grown to like them just because I've gotten, they're usually on late at night when I'm kind of flipping them on.
Yeah, there's some good highlights waiting for you already from today. You're going to like the one of Miggy Cabrera hitting a home run in a snowstorm. But because of the snow was so heavy, he didn't know the ball went out, and he slid into second thinking he'd hit a double.
I heard about that.
And the umpire to tell him. And then you mentioned the Dodgers. Kevin and I were talking about this before the show. There was an interesting one. Man on first, Bellinger hits a home run. The left fielder goes up for the Rockies, and it glances off his glove and goes out for a home run. The call on the home run was late. The man at first was around second. He thought the ball had been caught. He starts hauling it back to first, and he passes Bellinger, who's doing on his home run trot. So they pass, putting Bellinger ahead of the runner.
Yeah.
They called Bellinger out.
Yeah.
And so, because it started when I texted Kevin, I said, I just saw a 1-run, 2-run homer. He said, what?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen something like that along the lines, but that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So welcome back baseball, right? It's opening day.
Yep.
Yeah, a pretty good day for our first pitch speakers. Cardinals got a win. I think they beat the Reds. Sorry, Darren Speaks, but they beat the Reds 11-6 today. And like I said, the Rockies got the W. Stu Cole's the third base coach, and Daniel Bard came in and saved the game. Got to save. I think he hit 100 today, so that was pretty neat to watch. But yeah, so that's our MLB segment for today's show.
Yeah,
There's got to be a correlation between speaking at the first pitch event and winning, right? There's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, we only ask winners to speak at our banquet.
Makes sense. I like it.
All
right.
I know I'm getting old when I got a text message. How about this? I got a text message today that goes, "Man, Daniel Bard's throwing 100. It's like he was born to throw a baseball. He's your age and still throwing 100." I was like, "Geez, like he's my age." Like
it hurts your feelings, doesn't it, Coach?
It does. It's okay. I'm glad my friend's still throwing 100. Representing us old guys.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. We had producer Brad's telling me we had a question come in. Let's see here. This is Feet Davis 26. Feet Davis 26. How's Coach Woody's chess game going? They want to know how you. Was he talking about the one in the background, Brad, or just in general?
Chess game's good. I don't play quite as much as right now. Coach Miney, Simmons, and Bicknell are playing the most chess in the office right now because we have a board. here in the office with a clock. So guys run games. I play more online. I play a lot of blitz, which is like 2 minute, either 1 or 2 minute games with every time you make a move, you get a second added. So it gives you, but basically speed chess. I'm playing more online, feet, and great question. And, the thing about when you play all blitz chess, you can get a little bit loose in the fundamentals and make some bad moves. But I enjoy the speed game. I play a lot of speed.
So see there, Feet Davis 26. You got questions, we get you answers, even if it's about Coach Woody's chess game. All right, time to take a look forward because that's what we're here to do. It's time for the Charlotte 49ers Grand Slam Club week ahead. We could look at the week ahead. Easy for me to say. We got FAU rolling in here. I think it's safe to say, I mean, all the matchups are important, but if you want to contend in the East this year, FAU is going to be one you have to deal with, and we've got them here on our home diamond for 4 games this weekend, starting tomorrow at, I believe, 4:00 now, right? The time was moved ahead. So, Coach, let's talk FAU.
Yeah, no, I mean, offensively, they're pretty similar to us. They're not getting all the production from one guy. Their entire lineup is capable of producing. They've got, one of their best hitters is I think, they have one of the best freshman hitters in the country, on their roster, and their starting pitching is really good. I mean, David Kopp, their pitching coach, he's one of the most respected pitching coaches in our industry, and former Clemson pitcher. So they've got a really deep pitching staff with a bunch of good, we're going to see a bunch of good stuff coming out of their bullpens, and I think their Friday guy Cooley is more of a soft throwing lefty, but he can really, really pitch, and he's gonna give us, it's gonna be a battle, against him tomorrow. So, like you said, they're FAU, it's a John McCormick coach team. That's, I saw them working out here on our field today. They're physical. They're a complete team that we're gonna have to, we're gonna need to play our best to win the series.
Yeah, you look at they've been ranked as high as 20th this season. Currently not ranked, but they've had some big wins. They beat UCF in a series to open the season up, and then they had a big midweek win over number 6 Florida at the time. They're currently 3-2-1 in weekend series. I think they split one weekend with 2 games. But a tale of tape. They in Conference USA see Charlotte's 5th in ERA and FAU's 11th. Batting average, FAU's 5th and Charlotte's 3rd. So, like I say, very comparable. And the fielding percentage, both of them are up there. Charlotte's 1st in the conference with the 983, and FAU is 3rd with a 979. So both teams fielded well. It's on paper, it looks like a great matchup.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, they're a really good club. They're really deep. They're talented. It's gonna come down to, I think, which of the 2 teams makes the fewest mistakes and plays the best brand, start to finish on the weekend. So it'll be a good matchup.
This has a postseason feel to it. I mean, already that's what this feels like. Yeah,
I mean, Florida Atlantic, they're routinely making the NCAA tournament out of Conference USA, and that's certainly what we aspire to do and what we want to do. So, you gotta, teams like Florida Atlantic and Southern Miss and Louisiana Tech and Old Dominion and in the league and teams outside the league like East Carolina and Tennessee and these other clubs on our schedule that, they're playing in the postseason as well. Like, when you have the opportunity to play, it's you got to beat those teams, to get where you want to go. That's the name of the game. So it's a great opportunity for us. Like I said, I feel like with the needle moving on the health side, getting closer to healthy, I'm excited. I'm excited for the weekend. I know our guys have worked really hard. Last weekend was a it was 4 dogfights and long bus ride, and we got back at like 3 a.m., 3:30 in the morning Monday night. So Monday was a recharge the battery day, and I felt like today, I felt like the energy was there. I felt like our guys looked fresh, they looked strong, they looked energized. So, I like where we're at here tonight going into the weekend.
With the 4 game series, Coach, how do you manage that differently than a 3-game series? I mean, I don't want any specifics here, but overall, how do you look at a 4-game set strategically compared to a 3-game set, especially conference when the games are more important, I guess, in conference standings?
Yeah, I mean, you're always, I think, one thing you can't lose sight of the fact is that, I touched on it a little bit last week. Like, let's just say that the 4th game of last weekend had been game 1, 3-1 is 3-1. Doesn't matter which game you win. And I do believe in momentum, but I don't necessarily think that if you win one game, it gives you that much, like, just from a momentum standpoint. I think I'm going to feel good about game 2 with Austin Roses on the mound, no matter the results of game 1. You know what I mean? So, I don't, from a strategic standpoint, I think, you're just always trying to line it up to where, you're going after the game at hand, with the big picture of winning the series, in there. So, just being, in that East Carolina series, that was very challenging for our coaching staff from the standpoint that, it's really hard when you're playing from behind, and you're down, 4-1 against a really good team that's got a really good guy on the mound. It's like, you're trying to make sure that you're staying in striking distance, but you're also making sure that you are, putting yourself in a position to win the next game and the next game. So from a strategy standpoint, it's just kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's necessarily anything with a 4-game versus a 3-game that we're trying to do differently other than, we think, because I think no matter who we start, I like all of our starters. I mean, I think all of them have the ability to throw 7-inning complete games, if they throw on the doubleheader. Right now Bryce is doing a great job of getting us to the 6th or the 7th pretty much each time, and Moroza's to the 5th or the 6th. Brooksy's going to get back rolling here this weekend, so getting us to the 5th or the 6th there. So, I just from a strategy standpoint, I don't think too much changes. You throw you try to get your hottest or best hitters the most at bats, and throw the best pitches, the best guys the most.
Yeah. Well, we're certainly going to see all that on full display this weekend. So it's a big weekend of baseball. Starting and that was right, 4:00 tomorrow. There was some time change stuff going on. That's on Conference USA TV. Doubleheader at noon on Saturday, 2 7-inning games, and then 2:00 on Sunday. So check that out, fans. If you can't get I know tomorrow's on Conference USA TV, but other than that, it may just be audio only. But we follow it how we follow it, right?
Yep.
So looking forward, Coach. Just taking a look at this, and we're getting to that time of year that the NCAA bracket projections have started. Now that they've gotten the basketball tournament over with, the projections have started for baseball.
Yep.
The league, we're sitting there at 122 wins and 93 losses as a league, which is good for 6th in RPI. And the Niners are at 47, so very respectable 47. 7 teams in our league in the top 100 in RPI, which is significant. All the way from Louisiana Tech at 7 through Old Dominion, Charlotte, us, Southern Miss at 50, FIU 76, UTSA is at 91, and this weekend's opponent is 72, Florida Atlantic. So we've got 7 teams in the league in the top 100 in RPI. So a fantastic showing for Conference USA.
Yeah, no, it is. And, this is, it's our second year together as a staff, but it's feels still in a sense to our first. I mean, this is Coach Bicknell's first Conference US game is tomorrow. He was out last weekend, and we didn't play a Conference USA game last year. So, I've really enjoyed getting to know all of the Conference USA head coaches. We have pretty much from last April or May through the preseason, almost weekly, we would have like a head coach Zoom and just check in on protocols and updates and that sort of thing. And got some tremendous coaches, tremendous programs. Louisiana Tech, Ali, what they're doing right now is the schedule they're playing. I mean, they beat Ole Miss, they beat Arkansas, Southern Miss, and Southern Miss's arms are really, really good. And Old Dominion's, they've got a little bit of everything with, kind of they play a little bit more of the home run ball too, offensively. So it's a great league. There's no let up. Western Kentucky, I think they're leading the nation in doubles. We just played them last week. So, you're facing a big challenge each and every weekend. That's for sure.
And I think, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the latest, it was Baseball America's bracket projection had 3 teams in from Conference USA that they just put out this week. It was Louisiana Tech, Southern Miss, and FAU. They had in their bracket projection. I got that right, Kevin?
I believe so. Coach, give us your thoughts on March NCAA projections. I'm just kidding. You don't have to answer that. But it's really early.
You think the same thing about them that we do? I have a feeling.
Well, it's something for fans to talk about and people to talk about on podcasts and stuff like that. But yeah, it's still good to see conference getting respect, and hopefully it continues throughout the season. And we see that when the selection committee comes back in early June.
Yeah, I certainly don't put a lot of stock on it. But that is the discussion that we want to be in. That's the discussion that we, our team, our players, our coaches, that's the discussion we want to be in is in that field. But to your point, we got a long ways to go. And
long ways to go.
We're focused on FAU and trying to do the best we can this weekend against those guys, because that's enough of a challenge as it is. Don't even start thinking about all the other stuff. That's a whole lot of good.
All right, Coach, we're going to start winding this one down. It's nearly top of the hour here. Why don't you go ahead and give us your last thoughts on a big weekend at the Hayes against FAU? It's exciting to be back. It's our first home conference series. I know it's going to be a little bit chillier tomorrow. That's why we moved the time up to play and the sun's out for everybody. Keep it at 4, give people a chance to get off of work and get to the Hayes. Weather should be really nice on Saturday and Sunday for those 3. But it's it's an exciting time. So we're just things are starting to kind of open back up a little bit more, and the weather's starting to get better. And like you guys said, Major League Baseball opening day is here. So March Madness is winding down. So, all signs are pointing towards, attention moving over to baseball and that's a good thing. So, get some, excited to get out, excited to get going here tomorrow against a really good FAU team and, see what we can do. All right, Kevin, you ready for some Niner baseball this weekend?
I am definitely ready. If you remember our last Major League Baseball opening day, I think it was midsummer, we were doing a show, and we weren't talking about live baseball games. So the Niners are playing. Major League Baseball's open. Let's go play some baseball.
It's a good thing, right? It's a good thing all the way around. Head in the right direction. All right, folks, that's another week in the books. It's going to do it for us. It's time to jump on FAU. As always, we love hearing from you guys. Feel free to reach out through any of the social media platforms, or as always, if you're old-fashioned like we are, just say hello to us when you see us at the ballpark. So until next time, we're going to see you at the Hayes.
Go Niners.